All right, now that your survey is ready to send out to participants, we are going to go into a couple of areas that we didn't cover while creating the survey. The first is under settings. It's the gear in the top right hand corner. If we open that up, you'll see we have a couple of tabs at the top. The first one is general. And under the general settings, we have collect email addresses. So if you wanted to know who had responded and who hadn't, you can automatically collect email addresses. For what you're doing, it's not something you'll need to do. I know that if teachers are doing tests and quizzes, they may turn that on. Then that way the students don't have to type in their email addresses so that they can send the scores back to them directly via email. The next one is requiring a sign-in, and this is checked to restrict Luxembourg Casco School District users. We'll leave that checked because you don't have access to outside email anyway, so that one doesn't need to change. And then the last one under general settings is respondents can edit after submit. I guess that would be up to you whether you want them to have that capacity to do that. I'm going to leave the settings as they are for mine. The next tab at the top is presentation. So you'll see we have some options here. Show progress bar. That would be if you have a very lengthy survey or form that you want them to see how far they are progressing within the questions. With what we've done, it's not necessary, so I would leave that unchecked. The next one is shuffle question order. That would be if you were using this as a quiz or a test, you may want to turn that on. What it does is it mixes up the order of the questions so that if people are sitting side by side or near or in visual sight of someone else's device, the question may not be the same because the order is shuffled for each survey or form. Show link to submit another response. That would be an option to you. If you really don't want more than one response per respondent, then I would say we would take that check mark off. The other thing is the confirmation message. This is where you're able to type a personalized note to the people taking your survey. So you can see here the automatic response is your response has been recorded. If you want to change that, you can just click in this field and type in thank you for your time and responses. It will help me create a menu. Okay, so I mean you can do whatever you want. You could just leave it as the canned message there, or if you want to personalize it, you can. After you make changes though, I would suggest you click save and then go back into settings, and then we can go back to the quizzes tab over here, and I'll talk about that briefly. This would be more for if you are doing a specific quiz. So maybe down the road, if you're doing some literature work together and maybe each of you get assigned a chapter to do a quiz, this would be a good place for you to go ahead and create it so that it is actually a quiz and it will assign point values and things. But for what we're doing, we don't need to do that. So I'm going to just click cancel because I already saved my other settings. And the last thing we need to do is click the send button. And there's still some work here, so pay close attention. Here again, you're given the opportunity to automatically collect respondents' Luxembourg Casco School District username. For what we're doing, we don't need to do that. But again, it's an easy way for teachers, if they're doing quizzes and tests, using a Google form to collect that information so that students don't have to type it in and potentially have an error when entering that data. We have three options to send the form. We can do it via email, we can do it via a link, and then you can also choose the shortened URL, and then the last option here is to embed it. So if you had a web page or something that you wanted to embed it in, you could do that. We will be sending it via email. So what I would like you to do here is address the people that you're sending it to. I will tell you that homeroom groups are set up, so if you wanted to send it to, say, your homeroom, or here if you were sending it to specific students in your reading class, you would want to enter their names. And you should be able to just enter in their first name. So if I type in my first name, you can see my email address pops up right here. So I'll click on it and then it would go ahead and let me add another one. So then we have a subject line, so it's basically just like creating an email, even though you're in the send form area. And I would put a topic in here, so I'm going to just put in birthday party survey. And then you're also able to add a personalized message in here. I'm not going to because I think my form is self-explanatory, but this is an option for you. If you would like to do that, you may. And then the last thing here is to check the box that says include the form in the email. In previous versions, when we first started using Google, when the form was embedded, people would answer the questions within the email on the form, and then they couldn't submit it. I will tell you that that's no longer an issue. So if you don't want them to have to go to a new tab to get to your form, you can actually click this box, and then when you send the email, the form will be embedded or right in the email message, and they can take it right within the email and hit send and be done. So I guess that's just an option and a choice that you'll have to make on how you want that presentation to be. Once you have this all set and ready to go, then you just click the send button and it will automatically generate that email. One thing you may want to do is include yourself in the email so that you have a copy of it so that you can see what it actually looks like after you've sent it. Good luck, and if you have any questions, feel free to come back and watch the video again or ask your teacher for help. Thank you.